Yeah, and he nudges it up about 4 feet. He's 36 years old. Think about that, Nick.
And there it is, Jason Kokrak, his second win of the season, and a big win last week at the Charles Schwab Challenge Cup. And guess who called it? Yep, that's my guy, Jamie. We got the great Sealy McNeely, the reverse Sour Patch Kid. Jamie, I got to start with you. We'll get to Seal in a minute. Seal said he's got something to do anyway. He was watching a movie, thunderstorms. He's redoing his driveway again. So we'll get back with Seal in a second. But Jamie, you know, we've talked about this on the show a long time. Let's welcome everyone, by the way, into the SportSedge powered by InSpin.com and the great InSpin.com network of handicappers. Jamie, you can't win every week in golf. There's fields of 150 plus a lot of times. It's very tough. You got the top 100 or so players in the world separated by since. You got mental games that win tournaments over skill sometimes because they're so, close. But this is your third win of the season. You probably could have 5. You've been close 7, 8 times. And with big long shots, to get a guy like Kokrak anywhere between 47 to 55 to 1, we'll get into this tournament, the Memorial, in a second as we record here on Friday. You got Vaughn Taylor in the top 4. He's 350 plus to 1. You never know what happens in the Memorial. You had mentioned to me off air that a lot of guys like David Lingworth and other kind of guys out of nowhere have thrown up big numbers as far as odds go. But I got to give you props, as I do always. You hit it again, and you got to feel good about the Kokrak pick.
Yeah, no, it was definitely nice to see. I mean, like I said to you just now, whenever I've got a player in contention, I'll never watch it on a Sunday. So when I received your text message on Sunday afternoon after a few shots of Jägermeister, it was a nice text to receive. But
I hope I didn't ruin it for you.
Oh no, you just made me drink more.
I love it, though. You got to be able to watch your handiwork, though. I mean, these are guys that you are on top of. And I'm going to throw up, you can see the website right there, scratchcaddy.com. I'm going to throw up, the amazing information you have for all the different tournaments. But you deserve to, I understand not watching it. I have a lot of people that I know that are very superstitious. But you deserve to see him just dominate Jordan Spieth after every bookie in America. When Kokrak was winning, Spieth was still a minus 150 favorite at points on Sunday and the day before. That no one gave him a chance. Everyone thought that Spieth, because he owns the Colonial and won there before, was going to get it done. That was an outside the spot type of pick, and I got to give you credit for that. But I want to give you a chance again for those that have never watched this show before, or they maybe have and just haven't really heard the process you go through. Explain to people what made you pick a guy like Jason Kokrak last week and why the system you've developed, you even mentioned to me off air as well, that you're tweaking some things to make it even better. Why this system has worked for such a long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not really any secret. It's just collecting a database of results and information, and then going back from previous tournaments, whichever tournament it may be, seeing what the winners have done in other tournaments with course form, with recent form, anything like that, and trying to put it all together and find out which of those stats and those numbers that you have are most likely to predict somebody who's going to be close to the top of the leaderboard. I mean, I've been looking at numbers and results for a long time. And obviously the PGA Tour has a whole bunch of stats that you can sort of get lost in, and I look at the strokes gained sort of things as well, but you've got to pick and choose as to what you want to do with those strokes or to future tournaments. So, there was obviously one of the things that we look at was the week after a major. That's one of the things that people won't look at. It's very psychological, I think, golf, and it's very much about confidence, comfortability on a golf course. Listen, these are the best 140, 150 golfers in the world every single week. Any single day, one of them can beat somebody else. You've just got to find which of the weeks that players have a better chance than what their odds would suggest. And Jason Kokrak was that guy last week. So I mean, moving on to the memorial for this week, Jack's course there up at Muirfield Village up at Dublin, Ohio. A lot of comparisons I found there with the Riviera Country Club, the Genesis Invitational that they play in California. Sort of look at the previous three winners: DeChambeau, Cantley, and John Rahm. Well, John Rahm's won twice in California. Cantley and DeChambeau are both Californian, so there's got to be a link there somewhere. Genesis and Riviera was the course that I found. They all have great form there. They've all played well and won a Memorial, which sort of led us on to our picks for this week. Obviously, the biggest pick of the week was Vaughn Taylor, who we sort of picked up at over 500 to 1. 3 top 20 finishes he's had there at the Genesis over the last 4 years. And on a course that's just been redesigned, they've changed a few of the holes there. So it sort of levels at the playing field as far as course form goes. He's got no real recent form to talk of. A couple of missed cuts there. He's taken a couple of weeks off, but those are the 3 top 20s there: 20th, 9th, and 13th at the Genesis. So at 500 to 1 on a course that has had some big outsiders win before, like you said, David Lingmuth, William McGurt's won. Duffner was not really one of the favorite guys going into that week when he won. So, and even DeChambeau wasn't DeChambeau of how we know him now. He was 50, 60 to 1. So there's a whole bunch of things there that you can like about a guy. Obviously, at 500 to 1, you're just sort of looking for him to make the cut and see if you can get him into the frame somewhere. And he's playing well. So, like I said, we got Vaughn Taylor, Tony Finau, T4 Tony. Well, hopefully he can break. He's got to break through sooner or later. I thought this course might be a good fit for him. Again, he's got plenty of good course form over at the Genesis and Riviera, as well as James Hahn. James Hahn was another outsider there, 300 to 1 or so. He's a guy that's just going to appear from nowhere and win sometimes. He's all of his wins come off terrible form, but again, he's got some course form there over at Riviera, so we threw him in there as well. My main fancy of the week was actually Cameron Smith, +1 right now. Hopefully, we can get him around for the weekend. But you look at sort of Cantley, Rahm, and DeChambeau, all young guys, all can on their day they can beat anybody in the field, as can Cameron Smith, I think. So Cameron Smith was our main bet for the week. It's around 40, 50 to 1. But like I said, I mean, it's not always the main pick brings you home the money. So we'll take Vaughn Taylor or Cameron Smith. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. The projected cut, by the way, as we record on a Friday afternoon, is at 2 right now, +2. And you look, as you had mentioned, James Hahn right there, +1 through 10. He's got plenty of holes left to get further ahead of the projected cut. Cam Smith, as you mentioned, same thing with him through 10 holes. He's +1. So he's right in the mix to make the weekend, and you never know what happens because the lead's not that huge right now. And then, of course, you mentioned Tony Finau, and he is going to break through. And why not this week? He's definitely he's one of the best players to not have won a tournament yet in the last 30, 40 years of the PGA Tour. He's not going to tee off till much later this afternoon because of all the weather delays, the 2 weather delays yesterday. He's a 4:41 tee time and even par right now, and hopefully he has a low day. And then, as you mentioned, our man Vaughn Taylor, who just birdied the 16th after a beautiful tee shot on the par 3. He is -4, 2 off the lead. We'll see if Morikawa comes out and goes low or maybe struggles and the field kind of comes back to everything, and then Vaughn Taylor's right there. So great stuff by you, Jamie, and hopefully, we record on Friday. They got to sign up for your site at scratchcaddy.com to get the pre-tournament picks, but if people listen to your analysis last week, which they should anyway, and they heard us talk about Jason Kokrak, they could have bet him, obviously, on Friday night. I think he was still 30, 40 to 1. And then on Saturday, he had some good odds. And even on Sunday, as I mentioned, Speed, the big favorite. So, Jamie, kudos to you. Good stuff. We'll get back with you in a minute before we get out of here and we get to the Sealy McNeely show. You're smiling over there. What was the movie, by the way, that you were watching? I'm guessing it was Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No, Olivia, you're going to stand up?
Hello.
Is that Mrs. Seal? All right,
No,
wait,
that's the little one.
oh, that's livers and onions. Hey, nice hair. You curled the hair. I like it.
Thank you.
Keep the TikToks coming. Why is she wearing like a raincoat? Oh, it's thunderstorming.
Boring.
All right, so what? I'm guessing the movie was either Killer Clouds from Outer Space or Goodfellas. What was it? One of the two.
Nicole Kidman movie, Interpreter.
Oh, great movie. Sean Penn. Great movie. You win.
I'm not finished. You interrupted me, so I have to finish.
Well, listen, you got a job to do. People love you. They love you almost as much as they love Jamie. Now, you gave Jamie nice praise last week. I got to give you praise this week. By the way, don't forget Jamie's site is at scratchcaddy.com. Seal's right here at sportshandicapper.com. You are the self-proclaimed king of the MAC, the Mid-American Conference, but you are the actual king of baseball. And you mentioned April, May, June are your months. Not that you're not good in July, August, and September, but you are on some kind of tear. It's like you're 4-1 one day and you're mad, or you're like 7 of 9 over 2 days and you're mad. You're dialed in. You're fired up. Yes, there were some screw jobs like that first 5 innings for the Arizona Diamondbacks when I'm forgetting who they played, but that team scored a run in the 5th. Who cares? But you're dialed in. Why do you feel like things are all coming together? Not that they were bad earlier, but you're really on fire right now. What is the reason? Are you eating healthier? Are you cutting down on the cheesesteaks? Or are you just, feeling it right now? Just for any reason.
I heat up when the weather heats up. So,
well, the weather hasn't been heating up in Michigan. I don't know about Philly. It was cold till now. It's like 85 today.
Well,
but
when the weather heats up, I heat up.
Tell the people what goes into your decision making. I know you're up at like 5 in the morning, having like a McDonald's Egg McMuffin, and then deciding what you're going to do, and you get your stuff out there early for the clients at sportshandicapper.com. Tell everyone what goes into that has not seen you before and needs to understand how much you can win them money-wise. What goes into that process? Kind of, Jamie explained his process. For you, I know baseball and NBA, which you're not really doing right now because the NBA is crazy. Although I was big on that. You were proud of me. I was big on the Suns winning that series. They were plus 280, the Suns, as a 2 seed. In the history of the NBA playoffs, a 7 seed had never been favored over a 2 seed. The Lakers suck. And I don't care that Davis didn't play. If he was healthy, they still would have lost. But explain your process.
They were done before the series started.
Yeah, they're in.
Phoenix is a better team. They've been a better team all year.
And they're the coach of the year, Monty Williams.
Yeah, I mean, it's just price was ridiculous. I agree. Well, what goes into you got to bet early. You got to find good bets, and you got to place them early before they move. Baseball is very volatile. The lines move early in baseball. I'm sitting here at 6:30 in the morning. These games are moving. I mean, you wouldn't believe how early I have to bet some of these games before they.
Yeah, Seal, you really quick not to interrupt you. You gave out a total yesterday, and you gave it. I mean, we talked, and you let me know about it, and obviously your clients would have had this at the same time. You gave it out, and within 20 minutes, it moved a run. You had an over, and it went from 8.5 to 9.5 in less than 20 minutes. So that's why, like I said, I'm not telling people they have to sign up for sportshandicapper.com or scratchcaddy.com. Obviously, I want them to. That's why we do this show. But it's about understanding that you need someone on the inside that has done this for a long time, because whether it's saving $15, $20 on a money line, whether it's saving a half run or run on a total, whether it's saving 2, 3, 4, 5 points on an NBA game or an NFL game, it's a huge difference over a year, isn't it?
It adds up. You wouldn't believe how much it adds up. When you're talking about totals, the half a run to a run, it's different between winning or losing or pushing. The money lines, when you bet a baseball game, the difference in 5 cents and 10 cents every day for 4 months is too much to count how much the difference it is. It's ridiculous, the amount of money that you have to make sure you get down the right numbers, or you have no chance. I mean, the good thing about going over, I went over 8 and 8.5 in Milwaukee yesterday. It closed 9.5, but the good thing was when it was 6-3 in the 6th, I turned it off. Didn't have to watch it anymore. Now, if you're over 9.5, you got to wait till the 8th inning for the game to go over.
There's nothing better than taking it over. And actually, it's funny, like, there's all the legal, we talk about this, all the legal sports betting apps in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and other states. I know DraftKings is one of them. If you hit an over in a baseball game that's official, they'll pay you. Like, talk about not waiting, it's over. Like, if you have an over 7 and they score 8 runs in the 8th inning, they will pay that bet out. So there's nothing better than having a total and being over that total, and it's the fifth inning. It's all about it.
Now, if there's a rain delay and the game gets called in 8 innings, they can't pay that out.
No, that's not their rules. Any game over 6 innings is official.
Really?
If it goes over, that's only over. It's an under, it's different. But if it goes over the total, I don't know if all of them are doing it. I know DraftKings does. I don't know about FanDuel doesn't. But if my friend had a total the other night, it went over in the seventh inning, they paid him.
That's crazy.
Well, I know, but so are these betting apps. They're all crazy. And we always tell you this. Don't take the stupid odds boost because they always lose. I mean, most of the time. But the point is that you got it over. Instead of, like you said, sweating out an extra half run or run, you're done in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, whatever it is, and you can go watch The Interpreter or take Mrs. Seal out for a nice evening of dancing, chicanery, and chocolates.
Dancing.
So, you're a great ballroom dancer. All right. Before we get to your nibbles for the day, I want to get back to JB and ask him, Jamie, first off, would you go dance with Seal? I would say no. And secondly, just let the people know again the top 20s you're on and just kind of what to focus on for the weekend.
Yeah, so obviously betting somebody at 500 to 1 or 100 to 1 or whatever it may well be, you know, the chances of actually winning are reflected there in their odds. So I always took the top 10 on Vaughn Taylor and James Hahn. So we shall see what happens with them. And they're 20 to 1 and 30 to 1. So again, I mean, you know, you've got a John Rahm this week or a Bryson DeChambeau. Well, if I can find an outsider there for a top 10, I'm going to get paid more money on them to come in the top 10 than a DeChambeau or a Rahm to win the tournament. So Hahn and Taylor for top 10s, and obviously we'll see what Tony Finau and Cameron Smith can do this weekend.
Yeah, Jamie, I don't think people understand this. I'm not saying everybody doesn't understand this, but a lot of people don't. You just mentioned a great and very important point. People think that the DeChambeaus, the Rory McIlroys, back when Tiger was healthy, during the prime of Phil, that those guys every single week are going to top 10. Now, a lot of them are consistent. I know Spieth went on that major run, and obviously when he's been healthy, Dustin Johnson has, and those guys are in the top 10 all the time, top 5 a lot of the times, especially in majors. I get that. But they're not all going to be in the top 10. It is guys like Vaughn Taylor. It is guys like John Hahn that you're like, who's this? And there's such good value, whether it's a 20 to 1 or a 30 to 1 or a 50 to 1. I mean, you could have gotten Phil Mickelson top 10 at the PGA that he won. I think the last time I checked, it was like 20 something to 1. 20 to 1 just to finish in the top 10. $100 wins you $2,000. Yeah. So it's very important, I think, that people understand that, Jamie.
Yeah, well, with these odds compilers and what they'll look at, obviously, they're so concerned about your DeChambeaus, your Spieths, your McIlroys, your Schauffele's, your Patrick Cantlays, that they're making sure that those prices are correct and that they are what they should be. As soon as you go down to these guys that they may only be taking a handful of bets on, they're just copying people. They're not looking at the inside and outside of these players in as much depth as they look at the players at the top of the market. So that's one of the things that you do have to look for. Now, obviously, if a guy's at 200 to 1 for a tournament, there's a set price there for him to be top 10. So, yeah, I mean, because somebody's not paying any attention to it and just wants to copy a price from somebody else, well, you know what? If that price that they're copying is wrong, they're going to be wrong as well. So, and it's just a numbers game, isn't it? I mean, like I said, you're not going to win every week, but if you can get a 20, 30 to 1 winner every 3-4 weeks or whatever that covers yourself and gives you a bit of extra winnings for that month, then that's all you're looking for. Obviously, then you've got the guys in the top 10, the top 5. Well, just by the law of averages, one of them's going to fall over the line at some stage. So you've also got that win part there as well. But yeah, the top 5s, the top 10s, the top 20s, even for these long shot guys, if you've got a reason there to bet them and you believe in that reason, just go ahead and bet it. It doesn't matter what the guy's name is. It doesn't matter what the price is. If he matches with what you see from previous winners, you bet it. And it doesn't matter if his name is Vaughn Taylor or his name is Colin Morikawa. If that player fits better than the other guy, regardless of his price, you have to bet them.
Great stuff, JB. As always, please check out his site at scratchcaddy.com. Get right back with you before we get out of here. Let's get to Sealy McNeely. All right, we need some nibbles. Seal site, sportshandicapper.com. I know you have one nibble for tonight. Let's get another nibble. By the way, are you going to bet another NBA game the rest of the season? The last one you bet was the first one in weeks. You won it. It was a Suns first half. Are you going to look at the conference semis or the conference finals or even the NBA finals and bet any NBA? Because you are very good at it. You're just being very negative about the NBA right now.
No, I won't be betting the NBA. I think I'll be done with the NBA.
I'll believe that when I see it. All right, give the peeps a
you never know. You never know. You never know.
Well, you're 1-0 in your last pick in the last 5 weeks. You're undefeated.
I like to stay undefeated till preseason basketball.
Love it. All right, what do we got for tonight? I know you're on the first 5 innings, and give the peeps two nibbles. I want 2 nibbles.
Well, I hate the card tonight. Absolutely hate it. The only thing I could find tonight is Boston first 5 innings. I bet him even money. And
you want to know why I love that? Because the Yankees absolutely suck. I know they have a winning record. I know they're still one of the favorites to win the American League. But they're just, if you look at them metrically, whether it's hitting, whether it's pitching, whether it's relief, I mean, obviously Chapman's a great closer, but they're just not that good of a team right now. And the Red Sox are scoring a ton of runs. It's a big series. I like Eovaldi starting that game. I can totally see the Red Sox having like a 3-1 lead after 5 innings. That's a great value play, just like Jamie talked about. It's all about value.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like Boston even money, but now they're like 25 cents. But
well, that's because you bet it. When you bet it, you're like Ace Rossi and the line moves.
Yeah, well, it tends to move my way. I'll say
unless you have opposition like you did the Astros game the other night. All right, give the people one more nibble before we get out of here, please. Well, and I'm sure it's not going to be the Tigers and Turnbull, my Tigers against the White Sox and Keckle.
I like him, but I just can't bet Detroit because they just don't have to hit anyone. They just they don't have to hit. They don't have to hit me if I was pitching.
I think that from what I was told in high school, you were a big slugger just with the women. What about the Angels? I know they kind of screwed you over last night, but how about Ohtani minus the $160, similar line to last night's game?
Last night I laid 40. I can't back the Angels at this price. I can't do it.
All right. Well, you promised one more nibble. I need one more nibble before we go.
I didn't promise another nibble. I really don't. I don't like anything else in Major League Baseball tonight.
Not even a lean? Can you give me a half lean?
Not even a lean.
All right. Hey, listen. We've discussed this on the show many times. Just because there's a lot of games to bet doesn't mean you bet them. So lesson learned. Seal, great stuff by you. Let's bring JB back in. Gentlemen, it's always an honor. JB, keep it going because we love you. We always love you. But when you win, we love you even more. Actually, that's not true. We love you the most even when you lose. So keep it going. Vaughn Taylor, Tony Finau, John Hahn, and we'll look forward to the tournament in South Carolina, the Palmetto Challenge, I believe, next week. So great stuff by you. Seal, weekend plans, cheesesteaks?
I haven't decided, but can I get back to my movie?
No. Yes, fine. All right. For the great Jamie, don't forget to check out his site at scratchcaddy.com. We got Seal's site at sportshandicapper.com. This has been the Sports Edge powered by inspin.com. For Sealy McNeely, for JB, the king of the winners, I'm Dan Leach, the Squatch. Be safe, bet smart. Until next time, we will see you. Believe in the dream.